from Colossians 4 5 through 6, which says, live wisely among those who are not believers and make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be gracious and attractive so that you will have the right response for everyone. And today, I'm just grateful for life, health, strength, for waking up to just another God blessed, beautiful day. In in this particular verse, um, I think I've shared this a couple times over the years that we've had this room, but this verse to me is a very important one just because of the words that the Apostle Paul used, right? Where he tells us to live wisely amongst those who are not believers and make the most out of every opportunity. And I don't know if y'all remember a couple weeks ago, um, I was telling y'all about some friends of mine who, um, they weren't Christians, safe to say that. Um, but they were in a very, very, very high position, and some things happened to them tragically, and their world collapsed around them. And I mean, I talking about going from being a billionaire to literally being having nothing over the course of about a year. And remember, I was talking to you guys about it, and I was telling you, I was encouraging them to go to church. Well, as a testimony, he said that he went to church, and he said that he really liked it, you know, and that was something that made me so happy to hear that because in the midst of all this chaos, God still found an opportunity to welcome him back home or welcome him to the home where he belongs. And it just this verse kind of reminded me of it because it's so important for us to seize the opportunities when we have it, to just invite Jesus into the conversation when we around non-believers. I mean, it's it's not going to be easy, especially when you have to face persons like who have this stance against God's word. You know what I mean? And they try to give you history lessons on your faith, you know. But if you could just plant the seed, because like the Bible tells us as well too, the faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. But that extending that verse, like I always say, is faith the size of a mustard seed with work. So it has a lot to do with us planting a seed of faith, but it also has to do with the work that it takes us to go out there and to let these people know about the kingdom. You know what I mean? And especially, and the reason why I tell you that too is because at the end of this particular verse, the author tells us, he says, let your conversation be gracious and attractive so that you will have the right response for everyone. And I honestly feel that that just means one thing, y'all, to just think before we speak. Because, you know, and this is something that I battled with for a long time, right? Where I would get into these conversations, and sometimes people are um, intentionally offensive against you, when they don't believe in what you believe, and sometimes they are very triggering, and they tend to come at you with a conversation hoping to spark anger out of you, you know. But the thing is that when we go into these conversations, with a clean and pure heart and an understanding that, hey, we want to teach these persons, and not everyone is as teachable as the next person. You tend to have these convos with a little bit more grace and a little bit more mercy, because sometimes some people suffering from something called church hurt, like they've experienced some form of pain from a person, or sometimes they reflect this pain at God. Something may have happened in their life, traumatic, and they feel as though God should have saved them from it, or God, was not preparing them for something even better, and they still feel that pain, and there's anger built up in them. So I'm not going to talk much longer, but I just want to encourage everyone. If you run into somebody today, use like, what I always say is that, you know, notice your surroundings, be conscious of it. Because sometimes you're surrounded by people who hurt and in pain, and they just need you. They just need you to remind them of the goodness of God. They need you to remind them, that, hey, man, listen, I know you hurt, but listen, God is doing this for the better. He's going to make it better. He's going to take you through this. He brought you all the way here. He's going to get you out of it, and just use your purpose wisely. Just use your purpose wisely, because I have this strong feeling in me, and I've always had this feeling that sometimes your whole purpose of living your entire life may just have to been to bring one soul back to the kingdom. And your purpose might have come, you might just wake up today, and the whole purpose God put you here and put you through everything that you've been through was to just save this one person that God knew you would interact in on this particular day. It may have been written in your history books many moons before you were born. So seize the opportunity, guys. Use it wisely and just be conscious of your surroundings and be gracious with your words. Thank you, everyone, again for the opportunity to speak. I'm Kerry, and I relinquish my mic.